I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals and the stars ain't...
What's good? We're going to get into Monday Night Raw from July the 20th, 2026. This show was total filler from start to finish. Nothing mattered on this show. Nothing took place that was worthwhile. It was just, let's just go out here and just waste everyone's time for 2 hours and 15 minutes. This was absolutely pathetic. This was an awful show. It was. And I feel bad for the people of Detroit. I really, really do. They had, I think 11,000 in that venue. It was 11,000. That makes no sense on a random Monday. And this is what I keep telling people. The people going to these shows have money to burn. These aren't people who work everyday jobs. Again, these are people who have decent careers. Some of them could be in tech. Some of them could be business owners. Some of them could be owners of businesses. Some could be in the medical field, like doctors, lawyers, maybe some judges, maybe some people in politics, people who work in City Hall and stuff like that. These are not everyday people going to these shows. That is absolutely insane. This show was bad, man. It was bad. This was absolutely bad. And what makes it even worse is that SummerSlam, I apologize, SummerSlam is next week. Their version of WrestleMania in the summer version of WrestleMania, SummerSlam, they still can't move tickets. They've got tickets now as low as $25. They've only moved 700. Which was last reported by WrestleTix last week. I believe that was on Thursday of last week. It makes no sense. Now, are they going to move some tickets with that? Probably. I'd say they'd probably get an extra maybe 300 to 400 people come out. Nothing beyond that. And that's just being generous. That's just if people want to, see what's on the card of night 1 and night 2. But that's pathetic. That's honestly pathetic. And you got more celebrity involvement coming into SummerSlam. More celebrities are going to be there. It's just, I don't get it. I don't understand. And the reason people aren't going to these shows is because the product sucks. The product has been ice cold as a whole. Main roster WWE as a whole is fucking slop. It is slop. It's pathetic. Nothing is interesting. Nothing. NXT right now is more interesting, and they're undergoing a rebuild. I just don't understand it. I really don't. What occurred on this show that was exciting? What, the main event, LA Knight and Jacob Fatu? Yeah, that was fine. But it's not something I'm going to talk about for more than a day. What, Javon Evans and Dragon Lee losing to the Vision, which was the first match of the night? I don't fucking get it. I don't fucking get it, man. I think a lot of people are just going to these shows just out of boredom and just having something to do. And that's never a good thing. If you want to go to a show, you should go to a show that is hot. If you're going to go to a random Raw or SmackDown, you want to go to a Raw or SmackDown that you can have fun at. That you can, and what I mean by have fun at is that you get a lot of story. You get decent matches. You get decent promos being cut. You get vignettes. You may get, introduced to a couple of new characters that they're bringing in. You don't get that. This is just absolutely awful, man. Just awful. Just absolutely awful. And again, WWE has no one to blame but themselves. This all falls on Paul Levesque, on Triple H. This all falls on Triple H. No one else. Nobody else. It falls on him and his shitty writing team. This sucks, man. This sucks. They are going into their biggest show of the summer, SummerSlam, and there is no interest in it whatsoever. Whatsoever. It's fucking pathetic, man. Let's just go ahead and get into the show. There's not much really to talk about. All right, so we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. The Vision, Austin Theory, and Braun Breaker, they defeat Dragon Lee and Javon Evans. The match was okay for the most part. You know, Javon Evans still continues to wow us. Dragon Lee, same thing. I wish that they would be pushed more, but they're not. At least Dragon Lee should be in AAA, at least. You could put him down there for a while. That would be fucking great. To at least begin to revive his dead career. He's been on the main roster for what? Well over a year, at least, or close to a year. I think he came in like, I want to say early last year. So then post-match, the Vision, they continue to beat up on Javon Evans and Dragon Lee. Then Alpha Academy and Otis and Akira Tozawa, they come down to make the save. They begin to beat up on the Vision a little bit. And then Maxine Dupree gets involved. She slaps Otis. Braun Breaker tries to attack Otis, but Otis gets his hands on Braun first and everything. They begin to brawl for a little bit. Then Braun Breaker, he spears Tozawa. He spears... No, my bad. Otis powerbombs Austin Theory to the announce table. He's about to do that, and then he gets speared by Braun. Then Braun spears Tozawa in the ring and everything, and then the Vision stands tall. So there's that. Again, this is fine, but come on, man. The Vision needs to end as a faction. It's one of the worst factions in WWE, next to the Judgment Day. It's just another version of Judgment Day 2.0, basically, is what this shit is. I mean, it's fine, but come on, man. All right, moving on from that, this leads us into Danhausen. He's being bullied backstage by the Judgment Day, basically. So there's that. The Judgment Day, they want their money. Danhausen tells them to let him go, and he'll find their money. Okay, moving on from that, we get another vignette from Big Cass. So he's going to be on Raw, the Raw after SummerSlam. That's fine on August 3rd. Who really cares? It's not really all that important. Moving on, this leads us into Danhausen. He's on the show. He gets a good reaction. He says he thought he took care of the Judgment Day at the start of the next main event, but they want their money. Danhausen thinks he should give the money to the fans and not Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, and JD McDonough. So the Judgment Day, they all come out and they want their money. Danhausen curses all three of them. He tries to leave, but then he gets jumped. So Liv Morgan slaps Danhausen. Joe Hendry comes out and makes a save. Joe Hendry beats up Judgment Day. And then... So, you know, he gets the money and everything, so that's fine. Whatever. I don't give a shit about this. Moving on from that. So, the Judgment Day, they're backstage arguing with Adam Pearce. JD McDonough's also there, along with... Joe Hendry's also there, along with Danhausen. So, JD gets rid of the briefcase, because it's full of fake money. So Obafemi catches the briefcase, and then Adam Pearce makes a match between Obafemi and JD McDonough. And then he also makes a match for Dom and Joe Hendry. All right, whatever. Moving on, Obafemi defeats JD McDonough. This match didn't last but maybe like 20 seconds. So Oba ends up doing like 2 or 3 uppercuts. the throw that he does and the fall from grace powerbomb for the 1, 2, 3. And there's that. So that's fine there. Whatever. Who gives a damn? This was a waste of time. This shouldn't even have occurred. Obafemi just cut a promo off mic saying he's going to come after Brock and hurt Brock and everything at Hell in a Cell. That's all he said post-match. Moving on from that, this leads us into Sikoa. He shows up. He says that he's not even supposed to be on Raw, but he has a proposition to make. And then he calls out Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins shows up, gets a good reaction. Seth Rollins then welcomes Sikoa to Monday Night Rollins and asks Solo what he wants. Seth Rollins wants to know if they're talking or fighting, and Solo says he's here to talk. And tonight, fight. And he wants Rollins to hear him out. Solo says that he knows Rollins is getting ready to battle Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, but he wants Seth Rollins to know it's not against Roman Reigns. It's Seth Rollins against the entire Bloodline. Solo says he knows how they'll move and Rollins will be outnumbered. Solo says he can watch Rollins back at SummerSlam, and that's why he's here. Seth Rollins says that Solo's right about a lot of things, and he wants to think about it. And he begins to leave. So Solo stops Seth Rollins and tells him there's nothing to think about. And he can do the same thing for Rollins as Rollins did for Cody when Rhodes defeated Reigns. And then Jacob Fatu shows up. Solo scares him out the ring. Then Jacob yells at Solo. And then he eats a super kick from Seth Rollins. And then that was the end of the segment. This is dumb and a waste of time. Clearly, we know that this is going to lead to an interference and a run-in basically involved in Roman versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. We already know it's going to happen. Why? Because Triple H has been doing this shit since WrestleMania 40. Since Cody won, everything has had like an interference in it. Every big match. Outside of Roman and Punk at Mania this year. But come on, man. What the fuck? Alright, moving on from that. Chad Gable and Penta, they defeat Rusev and Ethan Page. Match was fine, I guess. Penta ended up hitting the Mexican Destroyer and on Ethan Page, and then Rusev tapped out to the ankle lock by Chad Gable. Yay, that's fine. Whatever. I don't care. Moving on, Seth Rollins is backstage, and he sees Jacob Fatu. Seth Rollins tells Jacob Fatu to hit him, and he knows he can't because Roman owns Jacob Fatu. Seth Rollins asks Jacob Fatu, when he beats Roman at SummerSlam, does he get Jacob Fatu services too? And Jacob Fatu says if Roman leaves anything left of Rollins after SummerSlam, he'll beat Seth Rollins' ass. Alright, whatever, that's fine. Moving on, then we get a pretty good little video package from Paul Heyman, hyping up Brock Lesnar, telling Obafemi that he cannot beat Brock at Hell in a Cell. Okay, whatever, that's fine. Moving on from that, Joe Hendry defeats Dominic Mysterio. Match was okay, for the most part. Minniehausens, they showed up and everything else and all that jazz. No, they didn't. They didn't. Io Sky showed up, so she came out in Danhausen's tank or whatever. So that was pretty cool. She beat up Liv Morgan and took her out and everything else. And then Joe Hendry ended up winning via a distraction because Danhausen hit the triple D on Dom. And that was it. And Joe Hendry just wins, just falls into the pin, which is dumb. It's like Joe Hendry could have done at least the standing ovation chokeslam finish. But, I mean, it's kind of interesting that they are, I guess, trying to make Joe Hendry and Danhausen a tag team, which could be fine. I mean, they're both wildly popular for sure, but do you want two comedy characters as a tag team? Probably so, I guess, but I don't know. Whatever. Moving on from that, this leads us into the main event of the evening. So LA Knight comes out before his match. He talked about the 6-man tag at SummerSlam. LA Knight talked about Sikoa showing up on Raw and talking about helping Seth Rollins, and that's why he doesn't trust Solo. LA Knight says it makes him sick that Solo is here talking about the Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns match. LA Knight talks smack about Roman Reigns and brings up how long it took Roman Reigns to have the fans chant for him. LA Knight says that he walked into the WWE and had the fans loving him. LA Knight says he can partner with Solo for one night because Solo helped decimate the Bloodline. LA Knight says they have to destroy the Bloodline, and that's the only way they'll succeed. LA Knight says he's going to take out Jacob Fatu tonight, and he's going to smack Jacob Fatu back to factory settings. And then this leads us into the main event of the evening. Jacob Fatu defeats LA Knight. So, Solo does show up. He gets involved in the match. Same with Jimmy. Then Royce Keys shows up to fight them off. To fight off Solo and Royce. Then Jay shows up and he beats up Royce Keys, which was insane to me. It's really insane. I mean, I get Jay's like 240, but he's slim as I don't know what. Like Royce Keys is all muscle. But whatever. So Jacob ends up getting the win with help from Jay. So Jay ends up super kicking LA Knight. And then Jacob Fatu super kicked LA Knight. And then he hit the Samoan drop, followed by the moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. Then post-match, Solo attempts to attack Jacob Fatu. The Usos show up and they take out Solo. They also take out Royce Keys, and they hit the 1D. And then they end up doing an Uso splash to, I believe that was LA Knight, taking him out. And then the Bloodline, they stand tall over a fallen Royce Keys, Sikoa, and LA Knight. And that was the show. This was a waste of time, but it is what it is. Who really cares? Total filler. I don't even know what to say, guys. I really don't know what to say because it's just gotten down bad. It's gotten down bad. Like, this was a bad show. Again, total filler. Nothing happened. A waste of 2 hours and 15 minutes that we'll never be able to get back. I don't understand it. And they're going into SummerSlam, one of their biggest shows of the year. Their biggest show of the summer. And they're putting on shit shows like this. But hey, whatever. So it is what it is. But all in all, the show was boring and bland. And that's all I got. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.